Agashe.
아저씨 이게 뭐야? Hello everybody, Agashe here today. So today I'm going to be doing a drama review on a recent drama that just came out. It is a Netflix original called Love Alarm, and it's a K-drama. It's actually a webtoon that has been turned into a K-drama, and apparently there's a total of 16 episodes, but they cut it into 2 seasons. So we've only been given the first season, which is episode 1 through 8, and episode 9 through 16 is supposed to come out who knows when. But I've heard about this drama a while ago, and I was so excited for it to come because I never knew who Song Kang was. I know who Kim Song Hyun is. I've seen her in dramas and everything like that, and so I've seen Song Kang in Michuri Village Survival, and like he's like. At first, he was kind of like, his character was kind of like out of the blue. He was so random and everything. And then as you get to know him, he was very hilarious and all this stuff like that. And so, I've never seen his acting before. So this is my first time actually seeing him act, besides seeing him on a variety show. And, I will probably jump into a different drama with him in there. I picked it up by accident. It's called When the Devil Calls My Name. I was kind of debating on whether I wanted to watch it or not, and then I actually started watching it. So that review will come another day. But today I'm going to be reviewing Love Alarm with you guys from episode 1 through episode 8. So bear with me. And if you guys have not seen it, this does contain spoilers because I'm recapping and I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of things and what's going on in the drama, just gist and gist of it. So if you guys have not seen it, go watch it and come back here and give your thoughts on what your thoughts are, and if they are similar to mine. But if you're kind of debating on whether you want to watch it or not, do check out this review. And if you guys feel like it's something you guys want to watch, go ahead and watch it because it's just me talking. So there's nothing picture or video popping up for you guys. So yeah, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So for characters, we have Kim Sung-hyun as Kim Jo-jo. She is a young girl who is bright and happy despite her family's past history. She lost her parents when she was young, so she lives with her aunt in her house, and her aunt owns a convenience store. She is living through a hard and busy daily life. One day, she suddenly her love alarm rings by Sunol. So she's kind of like, oh, what am I going to do now? And then we get Song Kang playing Hwang Sunol. He is a handsome model who grew up in a rich family, and he likes Kim Jo-jo. He grew up from a mother who doesn't care about him and a very strict father. So on the outside, he looks really cold and rough, but on the inside, his heart is warm, and he's kind of really empty on the inside. And then we have Chung Karam as Lee Hae-young. He is Sunol's best friend, and he also likes Kim Jo-jo. He is kind, he studies hard. He doesn't have a father, so him and his mother are actually maids, workers into Sunol's family. And he receives a lot of love from his mom, so that is enough for him. Him and Sunol has been friends for 12 years, and he kind of has a problem now because he has a crush on Kim Jo-jo. And then we have Shin Sung-ho as Il-shik, I think it's Il-shik. He is a vibrant judo student who likes Kim Jo-jo. And then we get Lee Jae-eun as Chung Dok-gu. He is the developer of Love Alarm and the app in the drama. And then we have Gu Min-shi as Park Gur-mi. She is Kim Jo-jo's cousin who tries to become an idol. And then we have Hira or something like that. She's a singer. That's her stage name. She plays Chango, and she is Kim Jo-jo's friend. So now for the synopsis. The drama revolves around the story of a technology that enables users to discover love through this application that notifies whether someone within the 10-meter radius has romantic feelings for you. A love triangle starts between a hardworking girl and 2 boys who likes her, and it becomes really complicated when this phone app is released, and it notifies every person who is in love with you within the 10-meter radius. So from episode 1 to episode 2, the episode starts us off with the present time. So apparently I got confused. The present time, their present time is 2023, okay? So when it flashback, it's actually 2019. And then when it flash to the future, it's 2023. So they're in the present time, future 2023, and Kim Jo-jo talks about the love alarm app, and as she's about to cross the street walk, she sees Sunol across the street, and she's kind of hesitating to cross the street, and all of a sudden Haeyoung jumps out and hugs Sunol, and the two of them walks across the street. She walks too, and she ignores them. Now we flash back to when they were in high school. So it's like 4 years later, and everybody is talking about this love alarm app and showing it off and how it works, and you get to see like when you're 10-meter radius with someone, like you turn on your love app, and like it creates like the circle. Like you don't see it, but for us, we see it. They show it to us, and then it tells if your phone rings, it tells you someone loves you or someone likes you, and that's how and if you like them back, they also receive a ring on their phone. So it's kind of like, telling the person you have a crush on that you like them, and they telling you that they like you too. So it's kind of avoiding the whole thing of I like you and then getting rejected, or one side love, stuff like that. So that's what the love alarm app does. Everybody has it except for Kim Jo-jo, because her phone is outdated and it's not compatible with the love alarm app. And her friend tells her to get a new phone, but she doesn't tell them anything. She just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever, like it's okay, I'll get it eventually, And we find out she works 2 part-time jobs at a barbecue place restaurant and at her convenience store where she lives with her aunt and her cousin. So the convenience store is on the bottom and they live on top. And it makes me laugh because it makes me think of Kim's Convenient. If you guys have seen that show, like I started watching it. Agashe and I, we binge watched like all 3 seasons, and we're so excited. So yeah, it's kind of like that. And so what is it? We get to see her hardworking. She works from one job to another, and like she studies while she's at the convenience store, watching the convenience store, and we get to see her. So for Korea, when they have food that it's past its due date, like they have a specific time mark on the food label that it's past due date. So you have to take it off the shelf or you get fined for it. Well, what JoJo does is she takes it off and she actually eats it, And so she actually eats it, and then it's just past like it hits like 1 a.m. and it's past that. She takes it off the shelf and she eats it. It's still good for her. And so she gets really treated badly, and she works really hard to make ends meet because she has to pay for her grandma's hospital bills, school, and everything. And then we flash to Haeyoung and Sunol. Sunol has returned from the States after 2 years, and we find out he's a really rich boy, and Haeyoung works for him. Haeyoung's mother is actually a maid in their house. But both boys grew up together and they're very close, so Sunol does not treat Haeyoung as if he's poor or lower than him. Sunol treats him as if he's just like a brother and gives everything to Haeyoung. So as Sunol's been following Haeyoung and everything, he finds out that Haeyoung is following this girl, Kim Jo-jo, and he likes her, and they work together at the Korean barbecue restaurant. And Sunol tells her to hit on her, but Haeyoung's all like, I don't like her, she has a boyfriend, and we just work together, there's nothing going on. Well, since Haeyoung keeps refusing that he has a crush on Kim Jo-jo, Sunol is actually drawn to her now. He's suddenly drawn to her, and he actually attends the school, and he actually sees that she goes to the same school as they do. And so he started following her around, and he sees how hardworking she is and how she hates going home. And he's kind of in a similar situation like her. He hates going home. At this point, we hadn't really explained much about his family, besides we see his mom who doesn't really care about him, and his dad who's strict and give him like tough, straightforward words and everything like that. And so, he's around her, and he's wondering like, why doesn't her love alarm ring his, because when he's walking around in school, every girl rings his love alarm, and so his phone is always going off. But like the thing he doesn't get is she doesn't have it. And so he stops to ask her if she likes him, and she doesn't give him an answer, but she just tells him, I have a boyfriend and he's a judo student, he will beat you up. And so no, he just doesn't really care, and he actually ends up kissing Kim Jo-jo. And like on the first episode already, he already kissed her, and then after that they kind of got involved with each other, and they kind of start talking with each other, and you kind of realize they both have similar family history, or like how their family is like to them. They feel kind of like the same inside, like how their family treats them. So as the episode went on, like many people starts to get involved in showing like the love alarm app, how it works and everything like that. Like for example, Ilshik, the judo student, which is Kim Jojo's current boyfriend, he has a love alarm and it went off and he thought it was Kim Jojo who rang his love alarm. But the thing is, she doesn't have an app, and it turned out to be her friend Jango, who has a crush on Ilshik. And so there's stuff like that happens, and then we get Haeyoung, who keeps refusing that he doesn't like Kim Jojo, and then so Sono, because he kept refusing, no matter what Sono does, he doesn't admit that he likes Kim Jojo. So Sono said, if that's the case, I'm gonna go and hit on her. And she kind of shows interest in Sono without the love alarm too. And so there's that, and then we get introduced to Chung Do-gu. He who is interested in Kunmi, which is Kim Jojo's cousin, but she doesn't like him, and she's aiming to get Sono. And this is where Kim Jojo gets a new phone. So because Do-gu likes Kunmi and she doesn't like him back, and she rang his love alarm and she's not avoiding him, like he feels really bad, and he was actually going to give a present to Kunmi, which is like a new phone with the app and everything like that. And because she rejected him, she didn't meet up with him. Do-gu and Kim Jojo end up at the same place together, so Do-gu was just being nice and gave it to Kim Jojo, and so that's how Kim Jojo has a new phone and the app installed into her phone. Airplanes. Anyway, so yeah, he gives the phone to her, and then he tells her, you can keep it if you want, you don't want it, just throw it away. And that's when Kim Jojo finally has the love alarm app and a new phone given to her, and so she gets rid of her old phone, and now she has the new phone, and her love alarm app is finally installed for her. So with the love alarm app finally installed for Kim Jojo, she finds out that Ilshik beat up Sono for kissing her. So she went and confessed to Ilshik about it, and she tells him the truth that she never had the love alarm in the first place. Therefore, she doesn't know who rang his love alarm in the first place, and it was not her. And Ilshik she's all like, now I have the love alarm app, but it doesn't ring, meaning you don't love me either. Like, so this whole point of he's stating that he doesn't want to break up with her, he just wants to be with her, but the truth is he doesn't have any feelings for her anymore, because her love alarm app isn't ringing for him, and she doesn't ring his either. So they decide to break up, and the news of her kissing Sono gets revealed, and it goes like crazy. Everybody knows about it now, and that for someone like Kim Jojo, finally she could get someone like Sono. And so on the other side, Sono finally tells Haeyoung to get the love alarm app, and by getting the love alarm app, both him and Sono will have it, and they will both approach Kim Jojo and try to get to know her and everything like that, to see who she will ring, whose love alarm will she ring. So it becomes like a bet between the two of them to see who will get Kim Jojo, because Sono knows that Haeyoung likes her, and now Sono also likes her as well. So they're going to see who actually does she like back in return. So in episode 3 to episode 4 right there, it continues on. We find out that Sono and Kim Jojo, they raise each other's love alarm app, so they slowly start to fall in love with each other and dating, but kind of keep it a secret. And everybody knows now at school that Sono and Kim Jojo kiss, and it's all over the school. And now that her and Ilshik has broken up, Jungko hates Kim Jojo now, and then we find out that Chango actually likes Ilshik, and they were friends before they met Kim Jojo, and Jungko has a one-side love for Ilshik, but Ilshik ended up liking Kim Jojo instead. And it was Jungko who also spread the rumor about Kim Jojo and Sono kissing to create all this chaos and everything. So there's that, and then we finally get the past explained to about Haeyoung and Sono. So when they were young, they were little boys living in the same household. Like their Haeyoung's mom has been working for Sono's family for a long time, so they've been living in the same household. And Sono's mom was an alcoholic actress. She was kind of going through troubled times because she's trying to get back into her career, but she has a son as well, and it's kind of conflicting with everything. And so she puts in medication into a drink to give to him, eventually to kill him when he was young. So Haeyoung saw the mother putting medication into the drink to giving it to Sono, so he knocked the drink over. After saving Sono, and Sono realizing that his mom doesn't really care for him, he felt that he's owed his life to Haeyoung, but Haeyoung's all like, you don't owe nothing to me, you don't need to give me anything, as long as we stay by each other's side forever, let's be like, you know, like brothers, close friends forever, that's all I wanted. So that's like pretty much, you know, what is it, what's the word? That's how they become like friends, and that's how they grew close together. And like Sono doesn't care about his family, and he seeks out for Haeyoung a lot, and you know, gives everything to Haeyoung because you know Haeyoung saved his life, and Haeyoung's the only person that cares about him, but his parents doesn't really care about him. So later on, a crime scene happened, and a woman was attacked because of the love alarm app, and the guy like liked her, but she didn't like him back, and he was like a stranger to her or something like that, something like that. So the love alarm became a problem, and this is when it gets introduced to us that Tukuk is the creator of it. So it becomes like, you know, a problem for him, but he's just kind of like, you know, a nerd off to the side, very quiet. So because of this happened, the school decided to ban the love alarm from happening at school, but you know, students still secretly using it. And then what is it, Kim Jojo accidentally stumbled upon Haeyoung, and her love alarm rang because of him. So she's kind of like confused now, she doesn't know what to do, and she's a little bit shy and embarrassed around him now because Haeyoung, she knows that Haeyoung is Sono's friend and she's dating Sono. So you know, this is when she finally realized that Haeyoung has like a side crush for her. And so what is it, as the episode went on, oh my gosh, like Kunmi, she gets introduced a lot in this time episode, and she's such a big be annoying. Like she goes and tells Sono about Kim Jojo's past. So we still don't know what happened in Kim Jojo's past and how she ends up living with her aunt and Kunmi, and her aunt and Kunmi treats them really bad, always stating that it's because of you and your family, that's why we're in debt and stuff like that. So Kunmi ends up telling Sono everything, and Sono doesn't really care. He doesn't, despite that is Kim Jojo's past. He loves her even more now, and he wants to protect her and through everything. And what is it, but the thing is, like, it makes Kim Jojo feels like she's smaller. She doesn't want people to know about her past. She's afraid, but it just brings her to realize that Sono was willing to do everything to protect her. So from episode 5 to episode 6 here, we still don't know much about Kim Jojo's past at all, besides like it was just like briefly explained a little bit to Sono, and little scenes popping here and there for us, for seeing young Kim Jojo crying, you know, so we kind of don't know what's going on until they took the class trip here to Jeju Island, and it finally led us to explaining it, you know. But like it explains a little more throughout these episodes. So Karmi, because she told Sono about it, Sono didn't care. She decides to tell Haeyoung about it because Haeyoung is Sono's best friend. So she believes that Haeyoung will stop Sono from being with Kim Jojo. So Haeyoung also finds out about Kim Jojo's past, but he's all like, it has nothing to do with me, you know, I don't care about other people's past, you know, it's not my fault, you know. And so what is it, oh yeah, and then so like before they actually went to the Jeju Island, the class trip. I'm sorry, I'm like lost in words right here. We get to see the aunt gets into an argument with Kim Jojo and blaming that they live in such a crappy life because it's her mom, Kim Jojo's mom. And Kim Jojo argues back that, why would you say such things like that? My mom is your younger sister. So that's how it explains to us of how they are related. And the aunt's all like, yeah, because she's my younger sister, I'm just obligated or like forced to take care of you, you know. So it kind of hurts her and everything like that. But you know, Sono comes to the rescue, ease the pain for her and everything. So when they go on Jeju Island, you know, Kim Jojo tries to overcome her fear, and like, you know, she couldn't come over her fear at all, and this is where it gets revealed. So, you know, they were having like some get together in the girls' room, in like the dorms and stuff like that, the girls' room, and a fire went off, and Kim Jojo panics, and she started seeing smoke and everything like that. She's like trying to break out the window to escape when they already killed out the fire and there's something going on. So the teachers were like, are you okay? What's going on? And so she's embarrassed and she runs away, and she meets Sono, and he takes her away, and they go away, and they went to spend some time away away, far away from everybody until the next morning, and they will come. And this is when it gets explained. So Kim Jo-jo and her parents were in debt, so they couldn't pay off their debt, so they decide to, like, you know, let's just kill each other so that we don't have to worry about these debt. So what they did was they duct taped the room and everything, sealed the room inside. So the parents took medication and they turned on smoke, like fire their smoke on like this pot on the side, so it started like smoking up the room. They were already on medication, sleep medication, so they wouldn't wake up. Little Kim Jo-jo wakes up and she sees that she tries to wake up her parents. They're not waking up, and she's panicking, and she rips off these duct tape, rips up all these tape and everything, and finally gets out of the house, and she walks all the way like far across to go meet her grandma. And that's when, you know, she's like crying to her grandma, and that's how her parents passed away, and that's how she ends up in Seoul when her grandma got really sick, and her grandma had to come stay with their aunt in Seoul, and her grandma is now in the hospital, and now she's living with her aunt in Kunmi, and the debt gets passed on to the family, and so the aunt now has the debt. So with that, then we get, you know, that explained, Kim Jo-jo and Sunho is going to return back to, you know, where they're staying at so that they can, you know, go home. The trip is done, and while they're coming, they get into a motorcycle accident, and, you know, she's trying to reach out to him. He's not awake anymore. She's kind of awake, and so we find out they both get injured, and then this is where it's going to get kind of confusing because it flashes to the future time and past, you know. So we get like flash forward to 2023. The Love Alarm has finally officially released, and people are loving it, and it's being used by idols, relationship, even at weddings and everything like that, and people are loving it. But we get some people who doesn't love it. They hate it because they get the notification that no one loves you, so it hurts them, so they hate this Love Alarm, and they kill themselves, you know, so it becomes like an issue. And then we find out that in the future, Kim Jo-jo, she pays off her debt, and she still lives with her aunt and them and everything, but she paid off everything. She's going to college, she has a job, and everything is good. Her and Kunmi are still not in good terms, but, you know, back then Kunmi was trying to become an idol. She failed to do that, so now she's kind of like video online trying to sell clothes and everything like that. And then we finally get to see the scene where it showed us in episode 1, where she's across the street and she's Sunho and Haeyoung, and we find out they have broken up, and Sunho has a new girlfriend, and her name is Lee Yuk-ju. And then we flash back to the past, and they are at the hospital. They're fine. Jojo is released. She's fine. She can't get in contact with Sunho because his mom took him home, and nobody can get in contact with him. So not being able to see Sunho, she feels bad and all this stuff like that. She feels like she hurted him. She can't do anything to protect him when all he ever does was protect her, and her past is just haunting her. So she meets up with Toku, you know, and Toku has been feeling bad this whole time. Like, he likes Kunmi, and she just pushes him to the side and treat him like crap and stuff like that. And he asks her whether she regrets that, like, you know, ringing her Love Alarm and using the app, stuff like that, you know. And she doesn't know what to tell him, and she finds it hard, you know. And like, he's heartbroken too. She knows that she's heartbroken. She knows that Toku is heartbroken too because Kunmi rejects him and Kunmi is mean to him and all stuff like that. So Toku decides to give her something before he leaves. He's all like, here is an add-on to the Love Alarm app, and it's called a shield, and it blocks any notification coming to you, so it will never ring to you that anyone loves you. And so it kind of leaves us off there, and then we jump back into the future or the present time, and there are 24 days left until Love Alarm 2.0 is released, and many people are having problems with it, and they are protesting it to not have it anymore. And then we see Sunho in the future. He's living, you know, his life, and his girlfriend, she's like popular and everything, but, you know, her Love Alarm always never rings from him. She rings his, but he never rings hers. So we know he's still hung over Kim Jo-jo. And then we get to see Haeyoung. He finally meets Kim Jo-jo in the future, and he decides to hit on her. And he tells Sunho that he's going to go for it with her, but Sunho doesn't allow it. And he brings up the past that Kim Jo-jo hurts him the most, and he cannot have Haeyoung be with her because it's gonna just hurt him too. And then, but Haeyoung doesn't really care, and even though Sunho tells him to stay away from her and all this stuff like that. So Sunho decides to meet Kim Jojo to tell her to stay away from Haeyoung, and when he meets her love alarm still rings from him. So we know it doesn't matter if it's been like years that they haven't seen each other, he still loves her, and on his side he doesn't receive anything from her. So the reason why he doesn't receive anything from her, it shows up when Toku gave her the shield add-on to the app, she used it, and so it blocked her heart from going to anyone. Regardless, nobody will ever receive a ring from her, and that's how she breaks up with Sono. And like he wanted to test to see if she still has feeling for her, to do all these, to do the love alarm app to see if she still has feeling, he still has feeling. His still rings on her, but hers doesn't ring on him, and hers doesn't ring on anyone. So he's so heartbroken, and so he's still hung over that, and year has passed by, he still rings hers doesn't ring him. It's because she still has that add-on shield thingy to her love app, and it cannot be removed. So at the end of episode 6, we see Toku, he actually, like in the past, he jumped off the building, and it's like he died because the love alarm app was not giving good reviews, and it was doing all bad for him, and he was very depressed. So he actually died at episode 6, which I believe he hasn't, and I'm gonna explain why. So in episode 7 to episode 8 right there, it actually shows us the breakup of the past between Kim Jojo and Sono, and then they break up and everything like that, and like he keeps trying to ask her what's going on, why did you break up with me, and like she can't explain to him, and she just tells him that she doesn't like him anymore, and he tells her that you wait for it, because you know what, leave that on, because in the future I will not ring it anymore. I will not ring it anymore, which we know in the future he's still in love with her, he's still waiting for her, and he still rings her love alarm and all this stuff like that. So it don't matter, time passed by, she's pretty much his first love, and he loves her regardless. Like even now, his current girlfriend, he's with her, he seems happy, but he's actually not happy. And the only reason Kim Jojo breaks up with him, because she feels really bad, and she couldn't predict the future, and she didn't want to drag him down with her, because she didn't know what her life was going to turn out to be. She was in debt, and she was struggling and all this stuff like that, and she was just trying to make ends meet from day to day to day, and he lived like, he has so much potential and everything, and she didn't want to ruin that. So that's why she broke up with him. So in the future, Kunmi, she, things are not going well for her. So she stole 3 million won from Kim Jojo, because she's trying to join the badge club, which she is trying to meet the developer of the love alarm app, and so things happens between them. They still don't get along, they argue. Kunmi is still annoying as she always is, and so with Kim Jojo, even though things seems to be going well for her, it still doesn't. Her and Haeyoung tries to comfort her. Haeyoung let her vent out her anger and everything, help her cope with her living and everything like that. And after this, the two of them starts to slowly develop a relationship. Haeyoung used the love alarm app with her, and it rang on her side, and he's really happy. He doesn't really care that it didn't ring on his side, but we kind of get to see that Kim Jojo, well, she explains, she gets closer to Haeyoung, but she doesn't have much of a feeling for him and stuff like that, and he kind of wonders, and she explains to him about the shield installed into her love app. She got it, and when she was going to install it, it told her that it can never be removed, only by the developer, if she was okay with it. And she was like okay, and she installed it, and in the future she couldn't remove it even after she had a new phone, meaning she had to find Toku again to remove it. But we already see at the end of episode 6, Toku is dead, which I believe he still hasn't died. Yeah, so that's why her love alarm, her circle was different from everybody. They're just circles. Hers has kind of wavy line, because she has the shield thingy in her, so it doesn't work on anybody, period, because no matter how much she likes them, it doesn't show on them. So we flash forward and everything. The big day of the love alarm 2.0 is launched, and they promise that the developer will be released, and they will show who the developer is. That's where it makes us go, he is alive, because they showed his room where he always sits in it, where love alarm was developed. it was still activated. Stuff was still in there. Like, you know, nothing is dead. And like, you know, there's like more screens and everything. That's how you're like, you know, he's still alive. If Love Alarm 2.0 is coming out, he's still alive. He's still out there, you know. He was probably thinking he was going to kill himself, but he probably didn't, you know. That's my guess. And then like, in the auditorium, this presenter, he says his name is Brian Chung. He is going to present, you know, the Love Alarm 2.0. He explains that it was developed by a little boy, a shy boy in his bedroom, and now, you know, they promised that Love Alarm 2.0 will be different. It has new feature that the app will actually predict your feelings now and how they will develop for someone. So, you know, it's getting really more and more higher technology, and people are very upset, and there's protesters outside trying to stop this launch because a lot of people had died because of it, because they keep receiving the notification that no one loves you because they're not getting it right on their side. So, you know, Kim Jojo she runs to the launch and she meets Sono and like Yukjo, and her love alarm rings, and it's because of Sono. And you know, like, she's kind of stuck in the middle, and then Haeyoung comes to the scene, and then three of their circle kind of like intertwines with each other, and on her love app it rings like both, and she has two hearts from the two of them, and it ends up for us that they are in a love triangle, and it just like ends it for us for season 1. So yeah, it kind of ends it for us there that Love Alarm 2.0 is going to get released, and it's going to predict to you of how your feelings will develop for someone, or how they will love you, and explain all this stuff like that. But like, you know, we get stuck in this love triangle, and then she has to go find the Doku, or the developer of this Love 2.0, whatever like that, to help her remove it so it can determine who she loves, you know. So yeah. But everything is moving pretty quickly for the drama, honestly, to me, and like it just like went straight. It doesn't like, you know, get draggy or anything like that. But I'll be very honest, I'm very fed up with Haeyoung's character. Like, I find it like he's so stupid, and like he doesn't understand it. I get where he's coming from, that he feels as if it doesn't matter if Sono gives him the rights to be equal with Sono. He feels like he should never step up to Sono. But like, here's the thing though, like, he has to understand that like he doesn't need to step up to Sono. He just needs to be honest with Sono and just be himself with Sono, but like he's not doing that. He's hiding stuff, and he's not speaking his mind, so it's really, really frustrating. And for Sono, he comes from a very horrible family. His mom is so evil. I just hate his mom, honestly. And like, all she cares for is her career and wanting to have the perfect image, and her son hates that. He wants to be normal, but he can't because his parents forces him to everything, and believing that Haeyoung is the only thing for him, the only person that he can be normal with and vent everything to. Haeyoung feels like Haeyoung should just be a person for Sono to vent to, and he can never voice anything, which like I don't really like, you know, like for the fact that they've been friends for like 12 years. Like, come on, Haeyoung, like, don't be like that, you know. So I kind of don't really like the Haeyoung's character and stuff like that. But I know that like Sono, like for me, like ignoring the Love Alarm, Sono is still in love with Haeyoung. I mean, oh my god, bromance. Sono is still in love with Kim Jojo, and like he's heads over heel for her, and it doesn't matter. He will not let her go, you know. And for Kim Jojo, it was like, you understand her character in the beginning, but now I'm kind of like fed up with her. That like, you know, just figure out where your heart lies, you know. Screw this Love Alarm app and just toss it, and be honest with the person you're gonna choose, and say, like how she told Haeyoung about it. It's like, I have this, but confess your feelings like the old time, you know? You don't need this Love Alarm app to explain your feelings. Just explain what's on the inside for you. You don't need this to prove you anything, you know? So yeah, there's that. And I don't know what's gonna happen in the drama, but spoiler alert, if you guys do not want to see this, I actually went and looked for the webtoon, and I think this is the ending. People said it is from the comments that I read. Kim Jojo does end up with Haeyoung. So honestly, to me, I don't want her to in the drama because I don't like his character, and I feel like her character fell in love with Sono before she even got the Love Alarm app. So I feel like she should be with him instead. But I don't know, that's just me. Everybody has a side. There's some who say she's better with Haeyoung. There's some say she's better with Sunho. But we will see when the season 2 comes out and to see how it turns out. But that is it for the review for Love Alarm for season 1, I guess. And I will see you guys when season 2 come out, which I'm very excited for. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be on Team Sunho right now, and I'm crossing fingers. So I don't know, but we will see what happens. But that is it for today, and I will see you guys next time.